So some people ask this question, and many others think about it. The question is, hey Brandon, what are my chances of becoming a successful freight broker, a successful business owner? And I think that's a really good question. So in today's video, I'm going to spend some time and give you some idea of what your chances are of becoming a successful freight broker, a successful business owner, based on my experience. But before we get into the video, I want you to wrap your mind around this one quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It says, "Great men are they who see that spiritual is stronger than material force. Thoughts rule the world." So now let's get into the business. So now, if this is your first time here, my channel shares the challenges and successes of small business ownership through my eyes as a freight broker. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, or maybe you're considering another small business, but you want to know what it's really like to be a 24/7 entrepreneur, then you're definitely in the right place. Subscribe to my channel for weekly videos released on Mondays about overcoming the challenges of a freight broker business and winning as small business owners. I believe in starting small and growing big, and if you like the content on the channel, please smash that like button, share the video with your network, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I release new videos. So now I understand that different strokes for different folks and different people see success in different ways. So what I want to do is give you some idea of what I'm talking about when I say successful freight broker or successful business owner. And what I'm not talking about is someone who starts a business and they still have a job and they depend on the job to keep the doors open of the business. And it allows for them to say, hey, I've had a measure of success because I've been in business a number of years. I've owned and operated my business for the last 4 or 5 years. I am not talking about a measure of success just based off of being in business for a number of years. I am talking about success based on production over time. I'm talking about success saying that you have started a business and you've been on that business for a period of time, and now the business has started to take care of itself and it's taking care of you and your family, and it's replaced the job. You don't need a job now. Your job carried you for a period of time, and now you were able to leave your job and focus all of your time on building your dream. That is what I am talking about when I say success for a freight broker or business owner. So now let's deal with your question directly. What are your chances of becoming a successful freight broker or small business owner? Newsflash, gather in tight, get real close. I have something I want to share with you. You are not very likely to become a successful freight broker or small business owner. The probability rate that you will fail before you reach your success is very high. The likelihood that a business will provide you income for your remaining working years is not very likely. If you believe the numbers, if you believe that you are more likely to fail than you are to succeed, then you will fail. No two ways about that. Whether you think you can or you think you cannot, either way, you're correct. But I want to put some numbers around your chances because that's what we said we would do. So here are the numbers. 5 out of 100 people who start a freight broker business or delves into small business ownership will ultimately succeed. Only 5 out of 100. Now you may say that seems like a relatively small number, and it is. It's only 5 of 100, which means 95% of the people who start a freight broker business, who start on their entrepreneurial journey, will ultimately fail. 95%. So why do so few people succeed and so many people fail? Well, I think it's because it requires a huge sacrifice to be successful as an entrepreneur, to be successful as a freight broker, to be successful as a business owner. Success requires a different commitment, and regardless of what people say, they say, I'm not going to quit, I'm going to see my dream all the way through to the end. I'm the type of person who confronts adversity, I'm ambitious, I have drive. They say all of the right things, but they quit before their dream comes to fruition. Why? Because life happens, adversity happens, and they're not ready to face that challenge. Big dreams, big goals require big sacrifices. And either you can make the big sacrifice and achieve the goals that you want to achieve, or you can not make those sacrifices and you want to achieve the goal. That's just how it goes. Let me give you an example of a big goal that requires a big sacrifice. If you want to become a millionaire, it's easier to become a millionaire in the United States than it is anywhere else in the world. There are 330 million people in the U.S., and there are 18 million millionaires according to a Forbes report in 2019. Now, That is about 5.5% of the population. So we know not everybody is accomplishing that goal, but we do know there are a lot of people, 18 million people, that are millionaires here in the U.S. And there are 1,700 new millionaires being made every single day in the United States. So it's obvious that the millionaire goal is not unattainable. It's something that we can definitely attain, but it requires a sacrifice. It requires a different way of doing things. And if we wanted to attain millionaire status, we can start doing things differently. We can do things that millionaires do. We can get the habits and practice the habits that millionaires practice, and we can become a millionaire. That's just how it works. If we do the things that millionaires do, if we make the sacrifices that millionaires make, if we break the habits that we currently have and, pick up habits that millionaires have, then we can definitely do it. But it requires sacrifice. That is the same with your freight broker business or being a small business owner, being an entrepreneur. It requires sacrifice. And if you're willing to make the sacrifice, then you can become the success that you want to become. So now in summary, I ask you to wrap your mind around a quote at the first part of this video. And at the end of that quote, it said, "Thoughts rule the world." And what I want you to know today is that your thoughts rule you. You become what you think about. Whatever you put on your mind, you eventually become. Your actions become who you are. You start to think about things, and then you start to take action based off of your thoughts. And you eventually become your thoughts. That's how that works. Now, with that said, when you look at this thing and it says 5% of people win, that is what it is. Now, you can look at that in a way and say that's not a whole lot of people, and I got a long shot of becoming that. Or you can say 5% of the people can do it. There's something that they do. There's a path to that success, and I'm going to follow that path. I'm going to get in line with those 5% of people so that I can achieve the results that they achieve. That's how it works. It's not like you got to go out and reinvent the wheel. Reinvent the wheel. What you have to do is take a look at what works. Pattern your actions after those that have come before you and have been successful. Those that are before you now and are successful in life. Do some of the things that they do. I'm not saying for you to be a robot and do every single thing that someone else does, but take a look at what people are doing and are winning at, and then you pattern yourself after some of those good habits, and you can achieve those same results. That's what we're saying here. Now, what I want to close with, what I want to share with you, is it comes from a book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And in this book it says, as the plant springs from the seed and could not be without it, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought. We'll say that one more time. As a plant springs from the seed and could not be without it, so every act of a man springs from the hidden seeds of thought. So every act that you take springs from the hidden seeds of your thoughts. So when you're thinking good things, when you're keeping good things on your mind, when you're keeping your goals and dreams on your mind in the forefront, then actions follow those that push you closer to achieving what it is that you want to achieve, because it's just natural. Your actions have to align with your thoughts. That's just how it works. Your actions have to align with your thoughts. So whatever is on your mind, that's what will come to pass. One last thing, and that was this. A man's mind is like a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. Whether it's cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. It says, if no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall into it and will continue to produce their useless kind. So whether it's good or bad, whatever you put on your mind, that's what will come to fruition. Now, I certainly hope you found this video to be helpful. I believe in telling you how it is. I'm not trying to paint a rosy picture and tell you that it's going to be clear blue in 22 and that you're not going to face adversity. I want to tell you just like it is. It's going to be adversity that you face. Only a small percentage of people are going to make it. If you have what it takes, you definitely can make it. The question is, do you have what it takes? And if you do have what it takes, will you persevere? Will you keep going even when it gets cloudy? When things are cloudy and you can't see, will you still keep going? Will you trust in what it is that you believe. And do you believe enough in you that you can get past any storm, that you can get through any challenge? Do you believe that? It's all about what you believe about you. Do you believe that you can be a part of the 5%? Or do you think it's a long shot? It's up to you. Like the quote says by Henry Ford, whether you think you can or think you cannot, either way, you are correct. So now, if you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I want you to go over and visit my website at www.brandonthefreightbroker.com. Wait for the pop-up to appear, and then you can sign up for my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. Now, I'm going to bring you into my office and let you watch over my shoulder as I set up loads to be moved, talk to shippers and the carriers, let you see how that process works, and then I'm going to go in and show you how a load moves from point A to point B and show you all the paperwork that goes with it. That's where you can get a feel for how it works, and then you'll be able to make a decision in the light instead of in the dark when it comes down to whether or not this is a business that you would like to move forward in. So yeah, I get it. I understand. There are a lot of people out there talking about how freight brokers move loads and make money, how entrepreneurs walk on water, how small business ownership is the best thing that could ever happen to you. They tell you the rosy picture. I get that. I understand that. But there's another side. There's a real side. And I try to acquaint you with that side. You know, because I don't want you to come in and be surprised when you start to face adversity. I want you to be aware. So when the adversity comes, you're already prepared for it. I'd rather be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So I'm preparing you for the opportunity that's coming to you. Will you be prepared? Will you be ready to answer the call? We'll see. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.